just letting go of it, because the machine, whether it's the DS200, it's the ExpressVote, it's actually going to grab the ballot, if you will, so you don't have to, you just want to make sure that it reaches, that you put it as far as it will grab it for you.
Okay.
Dollar machine.
Yep.
I actually grabbed two.
That's okay. That's all right. You're going to be handed this as opposed to being allowed to pick one up. So
Right.
we'll verify that you only get one at a polling location.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
So we are going to hit 1, which is your ballot style. I
How
say
do
that.
you
You have
know
ballot
that?
style. Well, the inspector will know that. This is precinct 1. Only ballot style 1 or 2 is assigned to precinct 1. And they will look at the receipt that she receives when she checks in that shows her ballot style.
So let me ask you, when you check in, she would check in just like normal
She would.
and and whoever is there would send someone with her over to the machine.
If she needs someone to go with her to the machine, well, in this situation, yes, an inspector is going to go with her to the machine. And then if she needs continued assistance with the machine, someone will be there to assist
And
her.
will they have the ballots like this with them, with the other, will they have them sitting there with all the other ballot styles?
Yes, if they're requested, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is assigned by precinct part.
Is that like Democrat versus Republican?
No. There are 2 precinct parts in A&M. That's what's caused the 2 precinct styles.
Okay.
So they're going to pick your precinct style. Ballot style 1, we're going to activate. And then it's going to allow you to mark the ballot. And you can do that. You've used this machine before.
Yes.
And so I don't know how you prefer to go through this machine, whether you do it by feel, you do it by listening, that's up to you.
Listening and feel.
That is up to you. So I'm going to let you, the headphones are here for you, the keypad is also here for you.
Okay.
And you can also touch the screen.
So those machines, they come with headphones, or do they have to bring their
They
own?
come with headphones, and we provide wipes so that they can be cleaned after each use. However, if a voter brings their own, they can use them. The machine is also such that if someone is confined to, say, a motorized wheelchair, if their limitations are extreme, you can even attach a sip and puff device to the machine, and they can mark their ballot using that.
I did not know
So
that.
now you do.
So Jenny, I'm videoing you doing this, okay?
Okay. Let's see. I use what vision I have, but at the same time I'm using the keys. Where am I? Okay. Wait a minute.
Can you talk about what you're doing when you do?
Okay. Yes. This is straight party voting here. I'm choosing not to vote straight ticket.
I thought to be touching the screen.
They can touch the screen.
Oh.
Yeah, you can.
You can touch the
But
screen as
if you're
well.
blind, but if you're totally blind, you might not be able to.
Like I'm visually impaired down the center, so I can do this, but I can also do it by doing it like that.
It's kind of neat.
Then I go, I realize that. Let's see, next one.
Can you overvote on that?
That's the thing. I don't think you can overvote on.
Let's try it.
Okay.
No.
No, that's the answer.
Now, Jenny, in your ears, is it telling you as you're scrolling, it tells
Yes.
you? Okay.
It says, this is lieutenant for governor. You vote for 1. You have 2 choice, well, no, 3 choices because of the write-in. Let's select that, and then it pulls up the keyboard. How would I do it with this?
You should be able to use your advanced keys to make your selection here.
Okay.
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 I don't know if you can see, Jenny. Did you see where it populated when you were on that character?
I saw the yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
You're hearing the letter?
Yes. Oh,
That's okay. You can go back.
yeah, I can go back, of course, but, oh, well, that's odd.
Back.
Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, there it is. I pressed back twice. That's what it is. Okay. We'll just go with A. And then It's, as I switch down, what it does is it'll read the name and then what party they're with each time.
Jenny can also, if she should choose, she can click repeat so that it repeats what's there.
Oh, yeah.
She can speed up the tempo of what's being spoken to her. She can actually increase or decrease the volume, change the volume if she'd like
Yeah.
to.
And I'm being a nuisance here.
Okay, I'm just gonna, and once I select, it also reads out the name and the
Candidate.
thing. So go to the next. Okay.
So you could do an undervote by not picking anybody, right?
I think so, yes.
You can certainly advance through this election and not make any
Yeah.
that particular
By just
option.
flipping.
Mhm. And when she gets to the end of this ballot, having gone through every contest or amendment, it will review it for her to make sure she's comfortable with the selections that she's made, and she'd have an opportunity to change that if she wanted to.
That's pretty sweet.
At the end, it does do a summary and it'll read it out to you. Let's see.
Jenny, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
And don't hesitate to say no, because I'm the one that's asking.
Okay.
If you tell me no, it will not change anything. May I take a picture of you using this? This is
Absolutely.
the first time, and I'm thrilled, this is the first time at a public test anyone's asked to test an ExpressVote.
What?
And now we had a prior version of this machine prior to
Right.
the general election in 2020 that someone, but I'd like, and may I use the photo?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
Absolutely.
you go about your business. I'm not
Okay.
but I'm not going to do that without your permission. And again, don't hesitate to say no if you don't want me
No,
to.
we need to get the word out
Okay.
because it is so important to be able to say, hey, you can be independent.
Mm-hmm.
You have a right to your autonomy, and this is how you do it.
Okay, well, I didn't want to take a picture of you without asking you permission.
Okay. What you might want to do is take a picture of the keypad also so people understand.
Sure, I'm glad to do that. But go ahead, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
I want you to get through your process.
Yeah.
I want you to ensure that you're happy with the way it's functioning and you don't have any concerns.
Now, if somebody was both blind and can't hear, can a relative or somebody help them?
Absolutely. A voter may
Yes.
bring someone to assist them.
Okay.
They're going to check in with that voter.
I was
And
gonna
it's, and it's not uncommon for a voter that needs assistance to bring someone with them. You're going to see that with some frequency.
Do you have to
If
sign
you
in and all
do,
that?
you do have to check in.
Okay.
You don't have to be a registered voter, but you do have to check in with that voter.
Okay.
A question on this, so when she's done and reviewed it, and she confirms it, it prints out on the same tape, right?
It does. It prints out on the blank that was placed into the machine.
Okay.
And we're going to let her feed that through the absentee machine.
I'm voting as fast as I can.
You're fine. You're fine. You take your time. And after we do this, Jenny, if you want to use this machine a little longer, you're welcome to do that. I have no
Okay.
issue with
And Judge, if
Thank
someone
you.
doesn't speak English, what's the process?
We currently have no requirement that we have anyone bilingual available, but on election day, if we have some that presents, I will have bilingual staff in my office so we can get on the phone and assist someone if we need to at a polling location.
So since everything's online, why couldn't they, I know Huntsville, city of Huntsville, they do provide a ballot in Spanish.
A sample ballot, yes. Yeah.
But on actual.
But there are very specific reasons why they do that, and I can't speak to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are very specific reasons why they've done that.
Huh.
And it could be for various reasons, but you could ask Ken Binion why that was done, why City Council chose to do that.
Because when you go to Secretary of State's site, you can click on different languages too.
Really?
Yeah.
You can do that on our elections website as well. You can also,
Okay.
you can
Yeah.
enlarge things, you can, we've tried to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, you guys really do have
Well, we
outstanding
try, I mean,
website.
it's constant refinement, but we were
Yeah.
one of the first in the county first in the state to have our own county elections website. So it's,
We're asking for the whole state, every county to do that too.
well, I received a letter this week with some requests, and I was proud to see that of the sample that we met all the requirements that you all
Yes,
thought were
I
appropriate.
think Madison County sets the record.
Well, we try. We learn
Make sure
something.
they know that.
We learn something every election, but we certainly, it's a constant improvement. We learn something
Yeah.
every cycle and build on that for the next one.
And somebody was asking about polling locations, and I went to your website and sent them all the polling locations.
Exactly.
And then I heard not everybody has that.
Well, and we also have a finder. You can actually go to our website and put in your address on a map that we've
Right.
designed. You can put in your address and it'll show you.
Yeah, that's
your-
pretty
it'll,
neat.
it'll drive down to your
see
precinct and
this.
show you where your
So
polling
this is
location
your-
is within your
But
precinct.
not every county does that.
You know, I'm not, I believe we might be
So
the only one.
is
that
this
has
reading you the entire?
It's reading me the entire thing, yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
it. Yeah.
They're gonna be here all day with those amendments.
But it's important because you want to know what you're voting on.
Now, there was some bill that I saw this past legislative session where they were cutting short the time people could spend in the polling places.
Well, if it passed, I'm certainly not aware of it.
Okay, maybe it didn't
But-
I'm not going to truncate the time someone needs to mark their
To read the
ballot.
ballots.
Kathy?
No.
We got a novel.
As soon as I pressed the down arrow, it did stop reading it and said, this is the yes box, basically.
So you gotta let it go through, if you wanna hear the whole
If
thing.
you want to hear the whole thing, you can, but you can also stop it and go ahead and make your selection if you already know what you want.
Okay,
And Kathy, I'm fairly confident that what you're referencing did not pass, or it would have been covered at one of our sessions this fall specific to elections
Okay.
with the Probate Judges Association. I think likely and I'd have to go back and look, so please don't quote me, but it's likely that the legislation had to do with folks that are loitering, because we have folks that like to come in and hang out at polling locations.
Okay.
So it's folks that like to visit, and sad to say, we have some incumbents and some candidates that like to come in and take a really
take a
long
coffee
time to
break,
vote.
coffee
Yeah.
break.
And so I think that it was probably directed at that, not someone in a booth
Actually,
yeah.
reading,
Now,
because the
again,
ballot's really
I'd
long.
have to go back and look at that, but I'm not aware that we've had any legislation passed that affects the time that a voter can spend in the process.
Bob Harrison used to do that.
Yeah. No. He's not the only one.
Well, I mean, that's the only one I've heard of.
Oh, I get a phone call just about every election. They're like, we have a candidate that's spending a little too much time. And I'm like, put him on the phone. Let me talk to him or her. So, have you voted? Yes, sir. Well, it's time to be on your way. Yeah.
So can they stand outside the door
30 or more feet away.
all day?
Sure. If they choose to. Nobody asked for my opinion, and I certainly think that campaigning is a valid part of the process. But we receive more phone calls about what a turnoff that is to voters. I really do believe that that's probably one of the least effective ways to campaign. We receive hundreds of phone calls on election day where individuals complain about that, like they are aggressive. I was felt like I had to take something, and so I don't, but it's certainly allowed 30 or more feet away.
You know, Oakwood, it used to be Gauntlet.
Oh, I mean, they're, and I don't know that it's that we have as much as maybe we once did. I don't, maybe someone has developed some,
It's all
or,
online now.
yeah.
I mean, even as soon as you got out of your car in the parking lot, they were
And
all.
I'm gonna
Right
get a
there,
close-up
yeah.
of your hand watching. So that,
I think it should be moved at least.
can you
100.
talk through
Okay.
how that controls work?
Okay, what's going on is statewide amendment number 5. It's just read me what it is. So I'm going to press the down arrow to activate my choices. And the choices is on yes right now, so I could press select, but if I wanted to press no, I just press the down arrow again and then press select. I'm just going to click no for the heck of it.
And then those other buttons, the screen,
And then the right arrow key
takes you to the
moves
next
me
one.
forward.
Now, what about the repeat? Is that if you wanted to read it again?
Yes, repeat is for, this is to turn the screen off,
Okay.
So if you're relying only on audio, you can turn the, I think,
I'm sorry.
sir, this is to turn the screen off, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
And
we're not
that-
gonna do
you can
that.
go- do that if you want to.
Okay,
Oh, it went
And
off.
what that does is it will continue to read and let her make selections, but if she's in a position where she feels like somebody's watching her, she can do that. Now, we instruct our inspectors to situate this machine so that anyone using it has privacy. So we would not put her back out to the crowd in a polling location. We would situate it so that there shouldn't be anyone behind her. So she shouldn't feel forced to black out her screen at the polling location. But no, I'm asked repeatedly and I teach at our
And so
conferences
that-
specific to elections.
That pause button
And I have some
just pauses
inspectors
the,
that are-
pauses the language,
Yes.
the verbal, so it stopped it.
it stopped it,
And
And then
yes.
you
But they're
push
also
it again
inspected
to,
into our-
and then the tempo is the speed up or slow down,
Tempo is, the speed
and
of
then
how
the
much,
volume.
how it reads it, and volume, I had to turn it up earlier, so.
Okay, and then there's Braille for each one of those.
Yes, there is Braille for each one. I don't read Braille, but I rely on the shapes of the keys.
Okay,
And I think that's why they're not calling you like, hey.
Okay.
You're fine, Kathy.
well, I'm getting tired of holding my phone.
Okay.
But we've been talking to disability groups about using the machine.
Well, and keep in mind too, many of our groups that provide services and support to our communities where individuals have limitations, we will loan them a machine with a mock election
Well, that's what
in
we would like
advance.
to.
I'm glad
would
to
like-
do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than like seeing it done to actually. And this little straw thing is just another attachment that you would bring in to.
That's correct. We're not going to provide that because it's certainly a personal device. But if someone
Does that
and
plug in?
forgive my very poor terminology if I get this wrong, but if someone is in a motorized wheelchair and they have a sip and puff device, it can be attached. And I'm sorry, Jenny, it can be attached here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which can?
A sip and puff device can be attached.
Oh, okay, right here.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because that sip and puff device is, of course, attached to the equipment that they're on, but there is a line that runs that can be unplugged and put into that port so that they can use it to move.
This guy's thought of everything.
That's it.
You got Bluetooth. You can use your earpods.
No.
And this, right now, we're on
No.
this, Kathy, we're on
This
the
is the
summary
verified.
right
Oh, you
now.
get it.
So what it's, going to do, I'm gonna scroll through the arrow keys. It'll,
Can I give these to
Tell
you pass
everything
those to
that's
Megan,
there.
please?
So it just reviews,
yes,
So it's telling you what you voted.
and then you go to the next page.
yes. You just keep pressing down. Cause it's 2 of 7 apparently. But,
If you just hit the next key, can you skip? If you look at all of them, and
yes,
then just
you can actually, no, okay, there we go. I pressed forward and now it says, do you want to print the cards?
But
So,
that didn't show you. I guess it skipped all the things, all the ballot, everything that.
yeah, because I was certain about my judgment,
Okay, that
so
you
to
marked
speak.
it.
Yeah,
All right.
and for ease of time right now.
And Jenny, if you want to come back to this, I'm glad for you to sit here and use this
Okay.
today if you want to spend more time. And I'm glad for anybody else that wants to use it.
Yeah, in fact, that's the thing. The ExpressVote machine, anyone can use it.
We encourage our election workers when it's set up and they start their opening process, we encourage one of them at least to sit down and mark their own ballot with it at their polling location to ensure that it's functioning correctly, that it's working. They're certainly tested just like our equipment, any other equipment, but things happen in transit, and so we encourage our inspector to have to ask a worker, would you please vote on it to make sure that it's functioning correctly.
Okay. What I want to see, if I can actually see it. Okay. The write-in that I did for Lieutenant Governor, I put A.
And it's showing up.
It's showing up, they do an arrow in lieu of a dot,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. So now
Would
I
anyone
know.
else like to see this?
Can I see the sheet, Jenny?
Sure.
Sure.